Where do I start? Oh, you can edit this.
Talking, like, I'm right here.
Can you edit it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want to tell my story because it could probably help somebody. But it's really like different, and we all have a story. Um, so I was hated before I was born. And that goes to say, because bear with me, I struggle with brain injury, so trying to tell this story is challenging. Um, my dad messed with my cousin. I don't know if it was consensual or if he forced her to be with him. She ended up pregnant. My mom knew about it. The family knew about it. Because the way my mom told me the story, like people knew, my aunt knew. Nobody really liked my dad. He was very abusive to my mom. And my older sister is 15 years older than me. He was a truck driver all over the country. I got sisters and brothers everywhere that I don't know about. But anyway, he messed with my cousin. And she got pregnant. My aunt said she couldn't keep the baby. So she told her she had to give it up for adoption. My cousin wanted her baby. So she had to give it up according to her mom. She did, and she wasn't happy. My mom said she came to her and she was really sad, and wanted to take her life. And so my mom said, okay, well, pop a bunch of red devils, because they did a lot of pills back then, uppers and downers. And then my cousin did. She took those pills and life was over. I wasn't born. My mom still messed up my dad, Curtis Parson, Sr. She wanted him to marry her. He was already married to a lady in St. Louis. We lived in LA. I was born in LA. But my cousin, that incident happened in St. Louis, I believe. My dad did marry her. He moved to Salt Lake City, Utah when I was 5. My mom followed him. He still didn't want to marry her. And I think he went on the road or he just left. I don't remember seeing him around. Because a couple of things I remember, he just wasn't there. He wasn't present. So this is all about the story of, there's so much trauma in my life, like back to back, everything that I dealt with. My mom, there was a guy that lived across the apartment that was my dad's apartment, 4 Seasons on Railroad Road, Salt Lake City. We was there, but we opened the door and we could see this people's apartment across on the other side of the building. You walk around the rail and you could go to their apartment, or the rail, the inside of the apartment, you could go to their apartment. But there was a guy, I remember, he ended up being my stepdad, 20 years younger than my mom. She was 35 when she had me. She was older. And yeah, she married him, and he was 20. But back to being hated before I was born. My mom told me the story of my aunt pushed her down the stairs when she got pregnant with me by my dad, by Curtis Parson. And that was one incident that I know I was hated by my aunt, whose daughter passed away because of my dad. There's another incident my mom told me that she helped my aunt with getting rid of, trying to be safe saying this, a child. She was pregnant. she helped her with the tools that they use in Mississippi. I don't want to say how she helped her with a hanger. But it's weird that she said that about my aunt. She helped my aunt, but I think it was, I don't know. My aunt had 6 kids, 7 kids. I can't remember. I could try to name them all, but it was a lot. Then my mom only had 2. So when she tried to tell me the story of my aunt stopping her, you know, being pregnant, it was my mom that had my sister, who's 15 years older than me, had me 15 years later. So who did what on having kids, or if they got pregnant? But if y'all can understand, you know. I was born with asthma. My parents did. This is another reason, like, hated before I was born, that they didn't care. My mom didn't care not to do drugs. She did drugs. And in their faith, what they believed in is what I don't believe in now. So she did pills, powder, PCP, in LA, all the drugs in the 70s, the 60s, the 70s, and did it with my siblings, step siblings, that my dad's 2 older kids came to live with her, and everybody loved her because she was cool. She did what they liked, did drugs. So she did it while she was pregnant with me, and I was born with asthma, real bad. I used to have asthma attacks in LA. Then they blew it in my face, marijuana. And they thought that's what would help in situations if I was crying or uncomfortable, a little baby crying, whatever. Or they just did it, blew it in my face. When I got older, my mom allowed me to do drugs with her. And I never liked them. So, yeah, it just, man, I'm trying to. When I was in junior high and I told her I wanted to quit, or I went to her with a problem to tell her that I was having a problem, a situation come up. You know, we always don't know how to deal with problems because they're always new to us. So she just told me smoke a joint, like that would fix it. And I was so mad, like that's not the answer. So, thanks. So with all my might, since I couldn't go to her to quit, other people knew that she was giving me drugs, and nobody took me out of her home. So just imagine I had to live with that, with her up and down, Jekyll and Hyde mentality. Oh yeah, back to when we moved to LA, or Salt Lake from LA. What she did traumatized me. I never understood why. I fell asleep in front of the TV. It was like our TVs used to go off with the buzzing sound and the colors. I fell asleep and she whooped me. I was asleep and I got a whooping to wake up to go to bed. I never understood that. And I think she did that because she's mad because my dad didn't do what she wanted. So she put out her anger on me. Back to when I was around 5 or 6 years old. She's with the guy, my stepdad. They got married 3 months later. So he's my stepdad. His nephew, his sister's kid, she had 2 boys and a girl. His oldest nephew, I called it perverted me. I didn't know nothing about what he was doing. But we got caught. He did it when my stepdad, my mom was at work, I think, or they just was gone. And that's when he called himself a chance to do what he wanted to do with me. And, we got caught. So then I got a whooping. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I didn't know what was going on. Then I know it happened a couple other times in my life. But she didn't take me away, or I don't remember getting help, or I got a whooping. I got beat and threatened and a whole lot of stuff, like, because of that. That traumatized me from talking to boys. I was scared of boys. I hated boys. It was like, you get me in trouble. I don't know. So I was like a tomboy. I never thought of messing with a girl or nothing like that, or having a boyfriend. Nothing, never like that. I didn't want a boyfriend, nothing. I really didn't like people. I'm an introvert, very shy. I was stuck. I remember a lot of places we would go and I'd be stuck. I could sit for hours, and this is way before we moved to Salt Lake, when I was in LA around my mom. Was I high? Was I stuck on stupid because I was on drugs? I don't know. That could have been it. Because thinking about things now when I tell my stories, yeah. So that was part of it. And I'm going to stop now, so I'll come out and tell more. And if y'all could bear with me, you could probably put the pieces together, because like I said, I jump around because it's a lot.